Ron Brown on the internet. Roundup, Roundup family. If you don't know this, I've been trying to get this dude online for a long time. Ron, Rounduppers. This is my business partner right here, Ron Brown. What up, Ron?
What up, Chris? I'm in Walmart trying to find a quick snack because I'm on the road all day. So,
Rounduppers. I'm bringing you in because I love to teach, man. I love to teach with you, not at you. So Ron and I were on. We were doing a mastermind group this morning, but I'm like, wouldn't this be nice to just share some mastermind information with my Roundup family? I promise you, if you're not mastermind, then you're not growing. Ron, tell me about this story. You were telling me a story. I'm like, I got to share this with my golly.
yeah. So we were kind of discussing the problem with thinking small. Can you still hear me?
I hear you good. Yeah.
Yeah. So about 4 years ago, I was driving through a development. Well, I saw a vacant lot with a for sale by owner sign in the yard. I called the guy, and he wanted $250,000 for the lot. And I called the city of Suffolk, which is
Half your face cut off, Ron. Move the camera over some.
I'm sorry.
Oh, there you go.
So I called the city of Suffolk, which is in our local market,
Mm-hmm.
and I asked them what it would take to tear that house down and develop that land. And basically, what they told me was that we would have to tear the house down and build a street into the actual development.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of thought about it like too much work, man. I didn't think in my mind that I could possibly, undertake a job that large. So there was actually two lots. There was two houses in between both lots, and I called the guy beside that one. He said that this particular person had called him, and he was going to buy that lot, his lot, and the one next door to it. So what happened was,
The representative from Suffolk had already talked to somebody about buying it.
no. So once I called the first guy who wanted 250.
Mm-hmm.
Then I called the lot beside his, and he said that someone had already contacted him and he was under contract and was attempting to buy the one next to his.
Gotcha.
So, long story short,
what year was this, by the way? I want to make sure
this was 4 years ago, so 2015.
Gotcha.
So, fast forward to now, they blocked off the road, Pewsville Road, leading to those two lots.
Uh-huh.
They've been blocked off for like 3 or 4 weeks now. And the street was opened up again this morning. So I rode down the street and I looked to my left, and this guy bought both lots, cleared the entire development, and he's building about 20 houses on those two lots.
Oh my Lord.
And in my mind, I'm thinking, man, 250 for one. And that was a lot of money at that time. And two, the amount of work it would take to develop that land. So my small thinking discouraged me from like a lifetime opportunity. You know?
Wow.
So
unbelievable. Well, as Ron and I were talking this morning, we were thinking small, 1 or 2 houses here, flipping the houses. I mean, that is just so, I don't even know the word. Amateur.
Small thinking, man. That's small.
So Ron, the infrastructure. So were there trees that needed to be cut down on this?
There were trees. I mean, at least 100 trees.
Okay, how much land we're talking about?
It's acreage. It's acres of land. So,
oh my Lord,
I'm gonna like when I drive down that road again today going home, I'm gonna send you a picture of the development. It's amazing, man. It's like there's two houses in front. Matter of fact, the guy, there's one of the two houses, the guy has to say about owner side in his yard now because there's gonna be so much construction going on around his house. He probably wants to move now.
Mm-hmm.
It's two houses and he's built a street, maybe like 3 football lengths in depth.
What?
It's crazy, man. 200. I would say about $400,000 for those two pieces of land.
So we're looking at 400,000. I mean, each house is going to be what in the threes?
350. Yep.
So we're looking at 400,000. Then it costs what, another 500,000 to develop it, maybe.
Probably about another 500,000. Yep.
So you're looking at 1 million. Then you got to build them all.
Yeah.
Anyway, a lot of money
Yeah.
in return.
This guy, he's gonna build at least 20, 25 houses at the most.
You don't know the guy, do you?
I don't know. I don't know him.
Well, see, the thing with builders, they have these relationships with infrastructure companies that can finance some of that. Because when I tried to do some development at a younger age, all these infrastructure companies, they wanted cash. I mean, you had to pay them right now. There was no do the work and then pay you.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a lot of infrastructure. They had to build. The development had to have a street going, like a paved road going inside. You had to have stormwater drainage. So it was a big undertaking, but at the same time, the land, like, you couldn't buy that much land for 200,000 now. It's unheard of. So,
Well, Ron, as we were talking about when I called you, I'm like, man, we need to start thinking big, not bigger, but more long term. How long did that project take to come to fruition, Ron?
4 years. Yep. So it took about 4 years.
When was the last time you worked on any goal of yours that took 4 years?
I have a 4 year. I've mapped out like 4 or 5 year goals, but most of the time it's like 1 year increments, 1 year
Yeah.
goals. So,
Do you think that's a skill that we can develop together, maybe to look at long term? Because I don't have. I mean, I need to get better goals.
yeah. I think so. I think long term goals. It is a key to have more long term thinking, and not necessarily always the one. We always program to think in 1 year goal terms.
Mm-hmm.
If we think 4 or 5 years out, it's a marathon, not a race. It takes time.
Wow. Rounduppers, if you're just joining in, this is my business partner, Ron, talking about long-term goals. He just witnessed a development that he himself could have bought 4 years ago for $250,000. But I'm thinking, Ron, you might not have had that vision to even see that at that time of your life. I mean, I don't know what you were going through.
Yeah, it was just, I couldn't even fathom putting something like that together at that time,
Yeah.
But now it's different, But back then I didn't have that mindset.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
And we can just piece it together. It ain't got to be done all overnight. I'm just thinking. Anyway, I wanted you to hear that story because Ron hits me with so many stories. So he'll have these stories,
Right.
especially with your contractor stories. By the way, Rounduppers, we had some mismatched cabinets to get delivered. Ron had to address that. Tell us how that happened. How's that coming along, Ron?
So once I leave him, I'm going to go there next. His goal is to paint the boxes to match the fronts, because the side of the boxes had like a yellowish or a creamish color, and the boxes, they come from China, but they're painted, so you can match the color up, but still it's a distinctive discoloration on the side of the boxes. So he's going to paint them, and we'll see how it looks from that point.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So Rounduppers, just to let you know, we ordered some cabinets, got them all installed. Not quite sure why the installers didn't mention it, but no doubt why do you think they didn't mention it, Ron?
They're just trying to do their job and get their checks and get paid and move on. They aren't gonna. But typically, like this particular guy, he's one of our top guys. He normally would inform us of stuff like that. So I'm kind of disappointed that he didn't. He's usually on point. I don't know why this time he chose not to say anything.
We got cabinets, Rounduppers. Just imagine if this is here's your cabinet, right? It comes in, here's your face of your cabinet. Rounduppers, the face of the cabinet, right? When you open the door, the cabinet face is a different color than the sides of the cabinet. Could you imagine? That's the first thing I saw. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, okay, Ron got cream cabinets. I'm like, cool. I'm looking more. I'm like, you get white cabinets or did he get cream?
Yeah, you can tell the difference. I missed it. You caught it, so that was a good eye.
That's what they pay me for, man. They pay me for that.
Yeah.
But I think the contractors, just imagine if you're the contractor, right? You're working. If you bring it up, it might delay your check.
Right. Yeah. Good point. Yeah, we're dealing with that now. So
Okay.
yeah.
How are we
Hopefully,
coming with the tile over there?
tile looks good.
Good to go.
Really,
Okay, I'm heading over there now with Smitty. Check it out.
yeah. So Willie, he's gonna finish the hallway up, and then the guy's gonna come tomorrow and begin putting everything together.
Were you talking about the fixtures?
Yep, yep.
Praise God. Praise God.
Yeah. So I'm pushing the next 2 weeks. We should be hopefully be finished.
You think first of December because we got Thanksgiving.
Yep. I was thinking 1st of December put it on the market.
Let's do it. All
Yep.
right, Ron. I don't want to hold you up, man. Thanks, my dog.
My man.
I'll talk to you soon. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Rounduppers. That was cool. So let me go ahead and chime off here. I'm gonna see if I can get Jessica Siegel on the line. Friday is usually my day. Friday is video day. So, but I'm usually recording, not doing live. I might be able to just get Jessica on here. That's all I have for now, Rounduppers. I'm gonna see if I can get Jessica on the line in a few minutes and see if we'll be back. All right. So, long-term goals. Get you some long-term goals or some long-term projects. I'm not talking about trying to get a promotion on your job in 4 years. Now, those are not the goals I'm talking about. I'm talking about personal goals where you're going to get out there and whether it's one house, two houses, 10 houses, just make some goals that are long-term that you can't do in a year, right? So for me too, I'm thinking, what could I do if I set my mind to a 3-year goal or something? Okay, Rounduppers. I'm going to see if Jessica's around and I'll be right back. Peace.